Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a rainy Friday. Barnes and Tony once again. How you doing, sir?
No, dude, I'm doing well, man. I mean, it's the weekend. It's Friday. Let's think about it for the second,
theme of the
dude.
morning.
Is the theme, man. Mother's Day this Sunday, dude. Going to be a big deal for sure, dude. Got a big weekend coming up. Obviously, a lot of sports to be had as well. Hopefully, the rain does not affect any of these sports plans. But yeah, dude, a very, very like weird, like eerie Friday.
Yeah, no,
The thunder,
it
the
really
downpour.
is like crazy because it's like, I mean, obviously, you know, we're used to getting both types of weather, but just how different the vibe is when it's like this versus if it was a sunny day. Like it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
dude.
it feels like there was so much more optimism in the air.
So much life.
Almost the optimism that Michael Butka has every day, you know?
Yes, dude, but we don't have that today, dude. It does make you want to just kind of crawl and do nothing. Speaking of that, Michael Butka, you said it. Morning, fellas. The graduation gifts are pouring in, he says.
Wow.
Hashtag feeling spoiled. Well, let us know what you got. I mean, are we talking Disney tickets? Like, what are we doing,
He
dude?
seems like a businessman. I think it's all cash.
Yeah, I can see that too. Cash, dude, absolutely. Michael also says, Ernie and I broke a new record last night. I had extremely late night contact with Ernie at 1:32 a.m. last night.
Ernie was telling me that was his graduation gift.
Really?
Yeah, answering at that hour.
I mean, that's nice of him, actually. That makes a lot more sense.
Very thoughtful.
Very thoughtful, dude. Speaking of people who are thoughtful, Josh B says, what up, fam, dude?
Josh
He
B.
says, Buckta. And Buckta says, 1 week from today, I graduate college, which is pretty late. I don't know how you feel, but like Sacred Heart graduated, I guess, like
Last week?
last weekend, dude. So
Yeah. I guess, you know, all colleges are spaced out, trimesters, right? I mean, you never know.
spaced out. The trimesters, yes, dude. The pregnancy. And then Michael
No, what is it called?
semester.
No. I know semester, but if some colleges do it differently, I'm pretty sure they call it trimester.
No way, really?
Yeah. You never heard of that? Like a college being on a different schedule where it's 3.
I
I know. I guess Sacred Heart didn't do it.
No,
Neither
they
did
didn't.
Eastern, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying I've heard of it.
No, never heard of it.
It definitely is trimester, though. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it could be. I think in grad school we were on I think it was 10-week. They were called modules, whatever.
So trimesters.
They were not trimesters, okay? But again, as he does every day, which is nice of him, Ernie, you truly are the best man a girl can be married to. I hope Ernie's wife honestly tunes in and sees this, dude.
I think she already knows, honestly.
Oh, of course. Yes,
You know?
of course. How could I,
Just
not
like the
think
rest
that,
of
dude, yeah.
America, that Michael Butka loves to text Ernie at 1:30 in the morning.
And Buck says he got a nice Lakers hat, I guess, is one of his graduation gifts. That's
There we
pretty
go.
sick.
What do you think? Snapback fitted? What do you think we're talking here?
I would think it's like a 47 one where it's like not a snapback, but it's a nice little
4750?
4750, exactly, dude.
Like, I wonder what the meaning of the 4750 is.
I don't know, dude.
You don't know, right? Stuff.
I don't know.
Stuff.
Don't know.
But I had to say, I know you were asking me about sushi yesterday, which was great as always. But I feel like right now, starving. Already had some pistachios in an RX bar, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. And I mean, how were you last night though? After sushi, what time were you done with dinner?
We must have finished around like 8:30.
8:30, and then
Yeah.
I guess you go to bed by what, like 10? So
I was in bed about around 10.
yeah.
But no, and it was perfect last night, but it's just like, for this morning, just needing something more substantial.
Yeah, no, definitely for sushi, I feel like I don't get hungry like hours later,
Yeah.
So it's tough. The longevity, dude.
I see Ernie's in the building.
Yeah, he says. Nice big Friday year, dude.
So always good to have the Swami with us here.
Oh yeah, dog.
But I have to say it is kind of different And obviously, we do have the golf going on, but just the fact that there were no local baseball games last night.
I know, kind of crazy, dude.
Kind of like throws you off a little bit.
I would say a lot of it, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? Talk Knicks the whole time? Oh, gosh. Dude.
I mean, I thought you were pumped.
No, I am pumped. I'm excited to watch the game. Actually, I guess I won't be here on Saturday with Mike, so. But I'm excited to see the game. That's for sure, dude.
Yeah. Going home today or?
Actually, no. So Saturday we have Harrison's stag party.
Harrison, dude.
That's right, dude.
Where is the old stagger?
I can give you the name of the place in a second, but it is in Waterbury, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I've never been to a stag party before. Have you?
No, I know Matt has though. For Steven, and I don't know if it was for somebody else too.
It's kind of crazy. I never really heard of them until I came to Connecticut, to be honest.
Well, because it's interesting. I think they were big back, in the previous generations, but then I think they've restarted.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I know like a bunch of people, everyone I know from Connecticut, are like every year, like, oh, I'm going to like so and so's SAG party. But it looks like we have, we're going to the pavilion at La Bella Vista in Waterbury. No
Pavilion in the
La Bella Vista.
Huh? I'm not familiar with.
Well,
that.
I wouldn't think La Bella Vista.
I mean, I've been to Waterbury over the years.
Okay, all right, yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, but it looks like a nice venue though.
It does. It looks very nice,
stag,
dude.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, open bar. I guess they do like. Oh, wow, actually.
I mean, usually it's a buffet, right?
Central Connecticut's hidden gem.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess so, dude.
I mean, doesn't that look like it couldn't be further from Waterbury, right?
Yeah,
from those pictures.
Yes, dude.
The bowels of
Okay,
Waterbury.
dude. Oh, wow. So I guess I should dress kind of nice, huh?
Is it black tie?
No, it didn't say so on the I guess I'll have to ask Harrison, like, what should I wear? I guess. Food open bar, raffles, games. Let's fucking go.
Any
dude.
type of do you know what's on the menu or?
No idea. And it looks like I mean catering. I don't know. Like, I mean, we're probably gonna have this. Honestly, a nice little anti-pos table, dude.
Any type of shuttle service to the event or?
It's a great question, dude. So Harris and I gotta figure that out because we're gonna drive up together. And our buddy Chris just moved to Southington.
Oh, so you might stay there.
So maybe yes, dude. That may be the plan.
Is you know how far that is?
From Waterbury? I think it's like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Which
so
isn't
you
that
could
bad.
just go home.
Honestly, at that point, right?
I mean, isn't it like the same distance? Like maybe it's 40 minutes?
I think it's closer to 50, maybe. I mean, I guess I can look it up right now, too. But in any case, we'll see what happens. Doesn't it get kind of tricky, with the drinking, and then you're trying to.
I mean, I feel like it's an Uber situation. Honestly,
it's a what?
It's an Uber situation.
Oh, an Uber, dude. Wow, right? No, yeah, I would agree. Looks like I can get there in 42 minutes right now.
Yeah, but you can save 12 by going to Southington.
Listen, those are important 12 minutes. Let's put in Southington. See how far it is from Southington. Not
downtown Southington.
So you've been to Southington?
Yes.
How's that area? 24 minutes. So give or take.
Like you're still in Waterbury,
Oh no!
No, but you know what it is. We've had the conversation. Yeah. Obviously, this venue seems like it looks great. But anywhere outside of Fairfield County in Connecticut, typically, as we like to say, isn't great.
No, dude, not great.
I guess you could say like Stonington, on the Rhode Island border, like that's pretty nice by the water. Okay. But other than that, I mean, Groton, New London, I mean, Willimantic, Tony. I mean, Storrs, Connecticut, if you want to chill out in the farm, I mean, there's just not much up that way.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. I know my friend's house looks pretty sweet. He was showing me pictures and everything.
Yeah, and like the house might be good, but I'm talking about like just like the general vicinity,
Harrison says he's going to wear jeans and a dress shirt.
Okay.
All right. So
semi-formal?
Semi-formal, I guess. Interesting.
But, so what I was getting at, without the baseball yesterday, we did have the golf. How about Keith Mitchell making the visor cool again, Tony? 11 under par, and he's 2 under through 8 today. Shot 61 yesterday at the cricket club. That was surprising to see for sure.
You think the visor's cool?
I mean, have we seen it since Vijay Singh in 04?
Yeah, no? I mean, I guess you're not wrong.
Yeah. You don't usually see that anymore. Well, I always just thought kind of like, what's the point? I mean, is it like, are we thinking like our hair is going to sweat that bad that we need the visor?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's really more so to keep the sun out of your eyes, right? That's,
But I'm saying, but versus a regular hat.
I guess maybe you're thinking you'd be too hot. Yeah, on your head.
Too high.
I remember. I mean, I don't know. For me, like, you always saw the kids in college wear them when they were fucking backwards. Like talk about what are we even doing at that point?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh gosh.
But
dude.
it seems like if anybody was going to wear it these days, more so than a golfer, would be a football coach.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
My high school football coach always used to wear one.
Yeah, they used to irk you.
No,
you used to want to hit it off his head.
No, like I said, I just didn't see the point. But I guess if you're saying, oh, you don't want your head to sweat, but then it's like, well, if it's sunny out, then your head's directly exposed. Like, is it going to sweat just as much or more, or feel hotter? I don't know.
Well, next time you see a guy with a visor, I want to ask him.
Let's get a Google AI answer. What is the purpose of a visor versus a hat?
All right. Let's go. Let's see what we got going on. What is the purpose between a visor and
did you
hat?
Study grammar growing up?
Listen, it's not that I misspelt it. It's just that my finger slipped. Okay. Intended use: open top design, visor brim, brand wraps around the head, leaving the top of the head exposed. We know that. It's okay. Provides sun protection for the eyes and face while allowing maximum ventilation. Okay. Ideal for hot weather, athletic activities like tennis, golf, or running. All right. And I guess that's really it, dude.
I mean, but do you agree with that, or you kind of agree with what I'm saying, where it's like, well, your top of your head's gonna be exposed, so you're gonna be just as hot?
I don't know, dude. I mean, I guess we're probably talking like a marginal difference, I guess.
Really though, we could do without visors.
Yes.
It's like chain restaurants, honestly.
Oh,
Michael Blackett just jumped up on a table.
Oh, right? Dude.
Anyway, so Keith having a good front nine this morning, 2 under through 9. But blitzed the field yesterday at 61. Shane Lowry on his front 9, he's 4 under through 8, so 1 shot back at 10 under. And then you have Sepp Straka, always a Tony favorite, 2 under through 7. Colin Morikawa lurking, 1 under through 7. He's 3 back. Tony Finau's 3 back, 3 under through 7. Both of them starting on the back 9. And then also at 8 under, Siwoo Kim, 8 under, and 3 under through 6, also starting on the back 9. How about this? Aske Bahatia shot 63 yesterday. He's 4 shots back, even through 6 today.
Very
even
nice.
Ricky Fowler, who I believe needed a sponsors exempt to get in, and he got one for the PGA next week. He shot 63, so he's 4 back. Will tee off, or it just actually is playing the first hole now. So, a lot of golf yet to be played.
That's
but
right.
A lot of low numbers. I didn't expect the numbers to be this low. You look at it right now, JT and Rory are -5. That's tied for 17th. 66s yesterday for the two of them. Did you pick Taylor Pendrith or no?
No, I picked Corey Connors.
And Corey Connors, right?
Yeah, dude.
Taylor Pendrith, another Canadian, is 5 under, as well as Connors, 5 under, shot 67 yesterday, 2 under through his first 3. Sam Burns is even through 2 today, shot 65. So basically a lot, a slew of red numbers. Nick Taylor shot 67, so he's 7 back. It'll be interesting to see as the weekend progresses. The scoring kind of quiets down. Xander 67 yesterday, even through 6. So really looking to kind of break through after having one of the best seasons on the PGA Tour last year. So, like I said, a lot of golf to be played. And how about this? Only 5 golfers are over par. And one of those being Justin Rose.
Hey now.
He shot 70. He's +1 today, so even par 70 yesterday. And Clark and Thigala also +1. So you don't usually expect to see that. And even your boy Lucas Glover, 72, even par today. So surprising to see that as well. But a lot of golf to be played. From the highlights that I saw, though, looks like a nice course there. So kind of nice to have a one-off. And I think this was, good preparation, for the PGA.
Yeah, dude, definitely. And it is, like you said, I mean, you're expecting some of these, you're not expecting some of these lower scores. I guess it's kind of interesting to see these golfers, I guess, have a new look at this course, I suppose. But, looking forward to the rest of the weekend. I would imagine that, we see some of those, maybe better players that are lower, Rory tied 7th, even Corey Connors as well, expecting a little bit more out of them, as they are getting the feel for this course, right?
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe we'll see some more visors out there, dude.
Yeah, you never know. I don't think Joel Damon has a visor on. He's playing in the Grand Strand in Myrtle Beach. Even par 71 yesterday, even through 4 today. So he's tied for a 71st right now. So 8 shots back of your leader. Another Canadian. Seems like that's the theme on the PGA Tour this week.
Yeah,
Mackenzie
baby.
Hughes, 63 yesterday. At Grand at the Dunes Club. So he has a 1-shot lead over Seamus Power. Or Seamus Power, excuse me, and Will Chandler. They're, both, all of them are teeing off this afternoon. So on the course currently, the closest golfers to, Mackenzie Hughes, 2 back, Jason Headley, Danny Walker, Blade Brown, Tony. So, as you would say, not the who's who on the PGA Tour.
Michael
Viavelle. And then also Kevin Kisner, even par yesterday. And it was also even through 7. The cut looks like it's going to be at 1 under par. Can't remember the last time he made a cut. So that's interesting to see him and Damon flirting with danger there. But I always love a good alternate event on the PGA Tour. I mean, come on, Tony.
Yeah, dude, especially when it's at a great location,
No, that is the thing, because it's just, Myrtle Beach, has been synonymous with golf for a while, so they finally get an event. It'll be interesting to see if they switch it to a regular event down the road. You never know. But, so it should be a great weekend of golf, and we'll keep you posted as the show moves along on the leaderboard. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. And I guess I did miss a slew of comments, or no?
Yeah.
I mean, anything of note or kind of questionable type of stuff, or searching, basically, you could say.
Dude, searching. Michael Buck, did you guys see the new Pope? You see that Pope? The Pope, first American-born Pope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really big on the whole, Oh, the Pope.
How about Ernie? Asleep by 9 last night. LMAO. Not really. I don't think so, buddy.
Wow.
And then Barnes was going to contact you late, but I have you a fast pass. Interesting, dude.
Making a Disney reference
here. Ernie seems like he's maybe a proponent of the visor, saying that it's for shade, but a breathable head. And then dude, that's pretty much it. Buck checking in on Ernie's family. Ernie's family's doing great. He says, well, good. He says, not great, which is good to hear.
Or great. To hear.
It's not great to hear. It's good to hear.
Yeah. Right.
And I guess we're pretty much caught up at that point, dude. I think that's it, dude.
I would say, I mean, that's kind of where we're cutting it off.
We may have Corey Sakonin here on Instagram.
There we go. Shout out Corey. Going to see him tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
A little, and Mark as well, but a little Colony and Bobby V's combo.
Wow.
You got the Yankees and the Knicks on in the afternoon. So definitely going to be dialed in there. Really, really want to see them go up 3-0, and that'll be the dagger, the kiss of death, like we used to talk about, Tony, right?
Yes, dude. So are we talking like Colony, like what time, and then what, Bobby V's for drinks and dessert, or food at both?
I mean, whoa. We don't need anything at Bobby V's. Come on.
I took the food you don't like.
You would have been tight. The food was actually tight. We went there last night after sushi for a little bit, and then they were closing up by 10 o'clock, so an hour early. No one in there, though. Thursday night, I'm sure over the weekend, all the playoff games and stuff, it'll be packed. But yeah, Colony, around 2, and then Bobby V's after for drinks, and then, maybe like a Carvel Dairy Queen down the road, a Mr. Remo later, possibly.
That's nice.
Who really knows? But yeah, pumped for that tomorrow.
Who really knows?
Now, do we have an update on the picks? I actually know how I did. I went 4-2. Swept the Tigers, Rockies, and then unfortunately the Red Sox, I think, shut out the Rangers.
Yeah, I did see that one. All right, let's see how I did, dude. I don't know. I have a feeling I did bad. I didn't really like my picks after I was looking at it. But in any case, we have Royals in the under, which is, I guess, 1-1 here. Let's see. Braves in the over. I want to say that hits. I guess we'll double check.
I think they had a tight game late with the Reds.
Yeah, let's go. So it's
8.5.
3-1, and then we had Blue Jays. And the over. Let's go, Brian.
There you go.
All right, Brian. Come on. No,
Come
late-
on, dude.
Not
Come
even
on.
any late night contact, dude.
No.
So it's 5-1 for me. You said you went 4-2, correct?
Yeah.
So that brings you to 30 or 43 and 35. And I'm at 46 and 32. Nice, dude. 3-game lead right now. Anybody's game.
What do you think about Ernie cutting bait with Soto for fantasy?
I traded Soto for Skeens straight up.
I mean,
I
pitching
haven't-
is a dime a dozen.
Pitching is a dime a dozen, that's for sure. I don't know what the rest of his team looks like in terms of offense, I guess, but I don't know. It may be a bad time to trade Soto. I mean, he's starting a couple of games. There's multiple home runs. He's starting to get a good feel for himself. He's expecting to have a big series here against the Cubs this weekend. I don't know. You may regret it, but I don't know. I mean, Skeens, I know he was getting a little bit tossed around in some starts, but for the most part,
really.
right? I mean, in relation to him and what we've seen from him.
I mean, him is like giving up 2 runs is tossed around.
Well, that's what I mean. More so than usual, but I think other than that, I mean, he's been doing fine, right? I haven't really looked at his
Manager
numbers.
fired, so I don't know if he was behind that. I don't know if you saw that. Derek Shelton, I think.
You think he was behind that?
He could have been.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll look up his numbers. I said I'll send it to you.
277.
Really?
Whip under 1. And I mean, he had 1 start against Chicago where he gave up 3 runs over 5 innings. Other than that, Tony, the numbers though are looking pretty crisp.
The Cubs offense is good, dude.
Yeah, best in the majors right now.
Yeah, I guess so. Couple against Cleveland, couple against St. Louis. 8 walks in his last 2 starts.
8 walks. Wow.
That's what it says here.
Yeah.
But in any case, dude, I guess that's a fine trade. I don't know, man. I have him till the 10th, he says. What?
Till the trade goes through.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's tomorrow though. Tomorrow's the 10th.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
So-
really nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he's got Crochet. Ooh, Aaron Noah. That sucks, dude. Aaron Noah's been I mean, I guess it'll add Logan Webb, Duran. I guess you kind of needed some pitching. Presley. I mean, I don't know, dude.
Listen, I mean, no, but it's really like I just know, like even from looking at fantasy, it's like there's barely anybody. Like it used to be so much different. I feel like growing up, it seems to be so many like really good pitchers. Now it seems like there's barely any.
I know, which is kind of crazy. He's got a good. I guess he's got a good team here. Will Smith, Harper, Ozzie Albies, Rafael Devers, Stott, who's been doing well, Brent Rooker, Quan, Bellinger. Bellinger's going to be heating up, dude. I got a feeling.
Yeah. No, that home
Suarez,
run he
Grisham.
hit on Wednesday at the stadium. That was a bullet. And you feel like he's definitely going to be doing more of that.
It's so funny, dude. I feel like, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I feel like a lot of like Yankee fans draft a lot of Yankee players on their team.
It's funny. Josh B's is very anti that.
Well, I guess Josh B would be an outlier for one of those things, right?
Yeah, but also too, you know what it is? I feel like you're the same way, Tony. Like it really just comes down to opportunity. If you're like in between a couple guys, one of them's a Met, they're there when you pick. I mean, most of the times you're going to take them, no?
Yeah, I guess so.
And there's not like some big like
No,
separation where you could get Paul Skeens, instead of Mark Vientos. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, obviously, but it is. I feel like sometimes I do like think the opposite, almost like a Josh B, where I'm like, oh my god, am I picking this guy just because he's on the Mets? Like, is he really going to be better?
But then it's like because I've done that before,
Yeah.
and luckily it was like a smaller league or whatever, where it was like over the past couple of years. Oh yeah, well I've judged in a couple of leagues, so instead of taking Judge, I'm going to take Corbin Carroll. I did that for the TCA last year, and it's just like, oh yeah, that was a good idea. You know what I mean?
No.
So that's why I just go with what I believe in.
They go with what you know, too.
Yeah.
Obviously you know the Yankees the most.
So what are your thoughts about the upcoming series against the Cubs? I mean, kind of a big litmus test, and Jameson Taillon, who's pitching for the Cubs tonight, has been a little bit of a heater. I don't know if you've seen, but
yeah, he's been doing very well. I think his ERA is what, maybe low
386,
threes?
but he just got
386?
popped, his first couple starts, and then it's kind of honed in since.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I forget. I was actually just looking at his stats, but in any case, I feel like he's still, he is a pitcher that is gonna be tough. No doubt about that.
Pitches to the late night contact though. I don't know if you've seen not as much of a strikeout guy anymore.
Oh yeah, no, I did notice his strikeouts are down. I don't think he doesn't really have much control issues though. Like I don't think I'd see a lot of walks when I looked him up. So he's gonna be someone who I think can also give you innings. But listen, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, if they're if the Mets lineup are looking at pitches like they were that third game against Arizona, we're gonna be fine. If you're sitting there, we talked about it this week. If you're guessing what pitch is coming, especially someone like Jameson Taillon, I mean, he's someone who has an arsenal that he can go to. He has a variety of pitches he can go to. He's been pitching in the league for a while now, and he's had some success. I mean, last year he had a very solid year, dude. I'm pretty sure I had him on my fantasy team, but it all obviously starts, with game one here on Friday. You want to get off to a good start. Hopefully the rain does let up, which I think you said it would.
Maybe a rain delay to start, maybe like an 8-10 first pitch,
which is fine.
Yeah.
And then what? I think Holmes is on the bump, right?
Holmes
who's been
undecided.
Yes. So like again, I mean, I think the series matches up quite well.
Tonight. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking about the next day. Sorry, but yeah, McGill's
tomorrow against an undecided.
But Holmes is pitching tonight.
Yeah, I think right now
tough assignment for Holmes though.
It is. But I mean, he's stepped up accordingly. I think so far. I mean, again, he's a big contributor in terms of why the team ERA is down. He hasn't picked up a lot of home runs here, barely any, honestly, which is great. And that, like you said, will be a good test, I think, for Holmes and the rest of the pitching staff, because I know that there's, multiple guys on the Cubs roster who have 9 home runs.
How many?
9, Brian. So, I mean, listen, they're an offensive powerhouse. You're going to have to rely on your pitching. I mentioned a lot of the home run hitters, Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, dude. Seiya Suzuki, all with 9 home runs. Looks like Carson Kelly with 8, the catcher, dude. Obviously, Ian Happ has been hitting well. Kyle Tucker as well. Dansby Swanson. I mean, these guys are hitters. That's why they've been doing so well. I think really where you're going to succeed is your pitching matchup. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I know I'm sitting here saying that, Holmes can pitch well, McGill can pitch well. The bullpen has been good so far, right? I wouldn't be surprised if our pitchers do get knocked around for the first time. Holmes does give up a solo shot in the first inning sort of deal.
Or he gives up 5 over 3 1/3. I mean, I don't think he's faced a team nearly as good as the Cubs, if you think about it, right?
You said it, best offense in baseball, right? So, I mean, there hasn't been many teams that are that good. I mean, obviously, when we played the Phillies, I think he faced the Phillies. I'm pretty sure he did. But their offense wasn't exactly humming at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, Clay Holmes, you think, the Astros, like his first game, but even so, it's first game of the season sort of deal. So we're hitting the Cubs in their stride right now, even though I think they are 5-5 in their last 10.
But still ripping the cover off the ball.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, it does come. Maybe I should look into their bullpen. Maybe their bullpen are the problems. The late night comebacks, as we've seen the Mets have so often. But like I said, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if our pitchers get knocked around a little bit. So you're gonna have to rely on that offense. I mean, hopefully Taylor does continue to give you good situational hitting. McNeil, obviously that bottom half of the lineup that did so well for you even against the Diamondback series. And then of course, I said it to Ernie with the trade here. I am expecting Soto to have a bigger series here at home, dude. Starting to get a little bit of his legs underneath him, I guess you could say, in terms of hitting the long ball. Obviously the average has been bumping up too with every game. So you would think he can come in here and knock around any pitcher that the Cubs put out there, right? Come on.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe.
No?
I could see them coming up, with a good plan of attack, and especially, a sneaky good lefty on Sunday with Matthew Boyd. I could see him giving them some issues,
Yeah, I guess so. Soto's got 5 hits the last 5 games, the 2 home run game, 3 ribbies and a double. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'm hopeful Mets fan over here, but we'll see what happens. What do you think are upcoming for the Yankees, though?
I feel pretty good. I mean, the A's definitely have played better than anticipated for sure. They're 20-18. Yankees are 21-16. But I think their pitching is decent. But I think where we will thrive, they're not top line pitcher, kind of middle of the road. So I think in that ballpark, I think you're going to see balls flying out left and right.
Yep.
The only thing I'm concerned about, I think I'm going to have to pick up some Sun Cruisers on the way home is Will Warren, Tony, is pitching tonight. And let's just say the drinking when he's on the hill, just has not really pitched well recently. It seems like every start, it's 4, it's 5, it's 6 runs. His ERA is 5.65. And he's given up 9 runs his last 8 innings pitched, which, obviously isn't great. So he's looking for a bounce back, but luckily we had an off day yesterday. So, our bullpen's rested. I think we're probably going to have to go to it early. Fortunately, though, after that, Rodon and Schmidt to finish out the weekend, posed by Sears and Severino. I like our chances in those games. So I think it's just going to be, trying to navigate through 5 innings with Warren. Maybe he could give up 3 runs, which is still a 5.40 ERA. So the offense is going to have to carry. And then I think Rodon and Schmidt will do their jobs. 405 games, 105 locally in Sacramento on Saturday and Sunday. So, I think it's one of those things. It's a minimum 2 out of 3. You hope to sweep. And I think it's nice, almost similar to Tampa, where, in that ballpark, the Trop, we typically have not played well. Same thing, believe it or not, even with some of these poor A's teams over the years in the Coliseum, I think the extended foul lines, the big ballpark, for whatever reason, our record there hasn't been great. So it's nice that we get, what is it? Sutter Heth Park in Sacramento, home run galore. So I think we're going to put up some serious runs. And honestly, minimum 2 out of 3, but I'm anticipating the sweep, barring that, Warren, can give us 5 innings, honestly. And I think the offense will take care of the rest. You mentioned Bellinger. I think he'll continue to hit.
Hell yeah.
Austin Wells has really had some better at-bats recently. Of course, the grand slam the other night. So you love to see that. One guy you have circled is Anthony Volpe. I mean, let's go. Definitely really has struggled for most of this season. A couple times where it seems like he's heated up and then he kind of falls back to the norm. So you hope he gets going. And then Jason Dominguez as well. I don't know what the average is at this point. Probably the 220s, 230s, only 2 home runs. So I think, he's had some good at-bats, some big hits at times. So, you hope to get him going as well. And then, it's kind of interesting. This is the series the A's owner has been waiting for. He said it was so exciting that at a minor league park, they would get to see stars like Aaron Judge hit home runs when they announced the move to Sacramento. So he probably will get his wish this weekend, right, Tony?
Why would he say something like that?
Exactly. I mean, that's why he's the owner of the A's and much maligned,
That's a shame, dude. It really is.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch some Yankee baseball, especially that tomorrow we'll get to see Rodon when we're watching it at Bobby V's. He's just been so dialed in. It was really one of those things where, Matt was in here after his first couple starts and he's saying, I don't think he could really figure it out. That's literally what he said. And I tended to agree with him at the time, but he looks like a completely different pitcher. So you hope that he continues that. And before we continue, with a pick'em here, what do we have for some comments?
Looks like we have quite a few here. John Pollock in the house says, hi, dude.
John Pollock.
What's up, John? And then Ernie says, Wells, Belly, Volpe, Grisham as his Yankees on his team, says his position. Backups of the Yanks, he says. Kev Dew says, let's go. We want to smoke. Let's go Knicks, he says.
Let's
obviously,
go Yankees.
Big high.
But honestly, Kev Dew, good to hear from you. Pumped about the Knicks and fuck the Celtics. So let's go.
John Pollock says, go Tigers. Hope we take out the Rangers today.
I think they should. Rangers have been playing very mediocre ball this year.
Scooble on the, I think, right?
I believe so. I believe so. That might be one of our picks.
Here we go. Ernie says, I agree. He will heat up as in Soto, I guess, with the scarcity of starting pitching. I needed to solidify my team with 3 aces and possibly some Cy Young candidates. Obviously totally agree, especially I have Aaron Nola on my team too, and he's just been eating dog shit. He has a start tonight too. I don't even know if I want to start him,
but this is the time you bench him 6 scoreless.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I start him anyway, dude. The Phillies are playing the Guardians.
I throw him out there,
right? Yeah, no, I'm gonna, dude. He says Webb crochet skeins every week is tough. Absolutely. And then Kev Dew, fuck Boston, bing bong.
Yes, dude, honestly. And I can only imagine this scene on 6th Avenue early Saturday
Oh my
evening
God, dude.
if the Knicks are able to pull this one out.
Like, absolutely forget about it.
So obviously we'll talk about that in a little bit. Did we get one more here?
We did. It's also for Michael Buckta. He says, F the Celtics. I hate them so much.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Michael, we're right with you, buddy. But anyway, Tony, yeah. So pumped to, watch the baseball over the weekend. And also John Pollock says, I'm happy to be done with the West Coast trip. Those are always tough. Yankees have a 6-game one right now. So, but nevertheless, will be fun to watch for sure. But let's do a Friday edition of the MLB pick segment, the 6-pack, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm.
Bang, dude. I think you go first, right? Do you go first?
I do go first.
You
Thank
do
you.
go
Very,
first.
very good intuition there, Tony. So we talked about, Will Warren on the hill. We're all pumped about Will Warren on the hill versus Beto for the A's. And, he has – so it's Osvaldo. You hear the name Osvaldo, obviously Osvaldo Cabrera, but it's Osvaldo.
Very interesting.
Beto, 4.71. A lot of contact against him this year, 1.46 on the old walks, hits, inning pitch. But, yeah, I mean, this is a game that has written all over it, with Warren pitching the way he has this year, Beto as well. So I think that's what we're going to see, but I think the Yankee offense will prevail here. Like I said, I'm optimistic, cautiously optimistic, that Warren can give us 5 innings, giving up 3 earned runs. But I think the Yankees, Tony, yes, will score 9 tonight and win by the score of 9-5. The total set at 10.5, so it's the Yankees. It's the over. Also, I mentioned Volpe. How about this? 3 for 5. Couple stolen bags, so Ernie might want to put in some prop bets there.
There we go.
And then I think Wells and Aaron Judge also will leave the building. So let's go. Yankees in the over.
Write that down here. Yankees and the over, dude. All right, so for me, of course, dude, Citi Field. Let's get going here. I mentioned, the offensive prowess from the Cubs here, and so I'm going to be hammering the over, but I'm hammering the Mets, dude. Pete Alonso was somewhat of a lowly back-to-back games against the Diamondbacks, not really contributing anything other than 0 for 4s here in the box score. I think he heats back up, honestly, in this series. I think you get Soto also heating up. I think that a lot of your offense, as we will need to, is leaning on your top of the lineup guys. Lindor being another of them. I'm saying a home run apiece at least for each of them. I think Taillon gets a little popped. You'll see in his last 5 starts. I mean, he hasn't had any scoreless starts, giving up at least 1 run. But I guess his best start was against the Phillies, 7 innings, 1 earned run. We hope to avoid that. The Phillies offense has been kind of up and down sort of deal. We know about that run differential for them, not for the Mets, baby. But I do think Holmes maybe gets tossed around a little bit, like I said early on, like an Ian Happ solo shot first inning. But I see the Mets end up getting that late night action to the bullpen. I don't think any dramatics in terms of a walk-off, but I will say Mets take the dub. Courtesy of an 8th inning 3-run blast by Soto. They win this game. I'll say 7-4. Mets in the over.
All right. So I am going to go with the Tigers here. So shout out John Pollock. Shout out the Patrick Corbin fade. I know, be careful. 2-1, 3.28 so far, Tony. But what's the ERA going to be by the end of the year? Probably approaching 9. And Tarek Skubal has pitched so well the last couple of years. It seems like he could win 9 Cy Youngs. Okay, I know that's a little stretch, but point being 3-2, 2.21. Detroit heavy favorites here, -270. Seems like a good day in Detroit, 64 degrees. So I think Skubal against a mediocre Rangers team so far this year will give him 7 scoreless, striking out 10. And I think the Tigers will win, let's say 5-0. So we'll go Tigers in the under, and then if Ernie wants to do a prop bet, good old friend Gleyber Torres. Let's say he'll go deep today. I'm sure he can get some good odds on that one.
That's kind of funny, dude. Yeah, I'm sure he will, dude. You can also get some good odds on, I guess I'll go with the Brewers here. Why not, dude? I feel like for the second time this week, I'm saying they'll be playing at George M. Steinbrenner Field here. As the Rays start off this 3-game set here against them. Jose Quintana, familiar face here. getting the start against the Rays here. 4-1 on the season, 2.83 ERA. Okay, the man who once wanted to become and continue to stay a Met actually is now this Brewer. Over under is 9.5, Brian, which I feel like is kind of maybe a little high, to be honest. I think the Brewers' offense isn't great. The Rays' offense isn't phenomenal either, and Quintana's been pitching well. So maybe Zach Littell gets popped around a little bit. Brewers put up 5, give up 3. Brewers and the under for my game number 2.
And speaking of old friends, let's go with the Padres in our favorite fade spot, Coors Field, the Colorado Rockies, 6-31. And you have Randy Vasquez on the hill, the former Yankee, 1-3, 3.90 versus Antonio Santazella, 1-5, 5.50. And I know we just took 2 out of 3 from the Padres, but they will welcome the comfy confines of Coors Field. This is going to get ugly for them. I think I could see Machado and Tatis having multiple home runs in this game. And I think Randy Vasquez against a very mediocre Rockies lineup can go 6 innings, 2 earned runs or less. And I think the Padres are going to win 12-3. So give me the Padres in the over.
Potting the over, it's a good call. Phillies. I'm going to go to Cleveland. Why not, dude? Cleveland heating up. Phillies, I think, are going to go down, even though they just swept T-Bay. Scoring a lot of runs. 22 runs, I guess. Is that 14, 8, 6, 22 runs in that series scored. 22-10, by the way. So big run differential between for Tampa Bay. But I don't know, man. I think Cleveland, I think Gavin Williams can pitch okay. Most notably, though, I think Aaron Nola gets absolutely tattooed, run out of the building. So I say the Phillies end up losing this game. Guardians, I mean, I guess I was talking about Kwan. He's been batting really well. It's why not say bottom of the 9th. Stephen Kwan, walk-off single, Brian, okay? Guardians win this one. I'll say it's 9-8. Cleveland and the over for my last game.
And Stephen Kwan, very big hitting to contact, Tony. So
yes,
probably one of Michael Butka's favorite players. But just like that is your 6-pack MLB pick segment here. And one thing I wanted to mention, but I forgot. Did you hear about the whole Devers saga in Boston?
First base, not going to play first base.
Kind of calling out the front office, saying that they told him he's going to be third base, and they signed Bregman, then they say he's going to be DH, and they said now he's saying he's going to be first base. And then he literally said, I know I'm a ball player, but at the same time, they can't expect me to play every single position out there. In spring training, they talked to me, basically told me to put away my glove. I wasn't going to play another position other than DH. Right now, I don't think it would be an appropriate decision by them to ask me to play another position. And he just signed that big extension not too long ago. I mean, what do you see happening here?
I don't know, man. Nothing good, it seems. I mean, when they brought in Bregman, that was the first thing he said, right? Like, he's not going to play any other position. So it's like, what kind of sentiment, what kind of like standards are you laying down here for your clubhouse, dude? Not anything good, and not for nothing. Like, I mean, I understand. Well, actually, no, I don't understand. I mean, I guess it's ego. I don't know what it is, but to sit here and be like, it's unfair that
he led the league in errors
to be asked like to play any other position, like that's crazy, dude. Like you do what your team is asking of you, all right, dude. I mean.
Well, and you don't air the dirty laundry. I mean, that's the biggest part.
Yeah, huge part, dude. Again, clubhouse culture. It's not good at all. And you look at his numbers. He's batting .255, 6 dingers, 25 ribbies, slugging .455 with an OPS of .834. So, I mean, like, again, I mean, if I'm in his position, I'd be like, wherever you put me, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, it's not a good thing. It reminds me of this situation, actually, when I played Babe Ruth back in the day. And I don't know if Corey was on my team for this. I'm not going to name any names, but I think he might know who I'm talking about, or I'll just talk to him about it after. But anyway, basically, we had this coach who actually really was honestly, in full transparency, just not like, he just one of those, like, where he just kind of toes the line with the jokes and stuff. And you know me with these type of things, rolls right off my back. But literally, like, first of all, let's just put this out there. He was probably at that point, I mean, probably hovering around 300 pounds. And he would make jokes about me, telling me to hustle. There's a cheeseburger on first, like literally saying those type of things. So one time he's giving a talk, and one of our buddies is, I guess, like zoning out, like while we're all taking a knee, like after a game.
Classic.
And he literally goes, you might want to pay attention. You're not exactly ripping the cover off the ball.
Oh my God.
Like,
dude.
are you kidding me?
That's pretty crazy, dude.
But no, these coaches, I'm telling you, get nasty. And the whole cheeseburger thing, like, imagine if I was someone else like that. I mean, that's really like, especially these days, I mean, you're probably getting arrested.
Oh, honestly, dude. Yeah, literally convicted immediately. No trial.
If you had to say, though, which one is worse? I mean, they were both in front of the whole team, but the cheeseburger or the ripping the cover off the ball?
I feel like probably the cheeseburger, I guess.
It's such a ridiculous question, though, right? But anyway, I did see, actually, we do have a couple comments. I think starting with Ernie saying, can we imagine the comeback, LOL? And I guess he's talking about the Celtics. And I understand because I see it all the time, on JD's show and just in the TCA chat. Everybody giving Ernie a tough time about the Lakers. But I think he's taking it a little too far because obviously we know, he's a big Yankee fan. He knows that we all hate Boston. So, I mean, I think that he's getting a little carried away with basically wanting the Knicks to lose.
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong. But like you said, I mean, it takes a lot of shock, I guess, for being a Lakers fan. But I mean, but also like he's not
also a Lakers fan. I mean, who's the Lakers' number one rival historically, though?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, very true. But also, I mean, I also do think so that people are. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I feel like there's some people, not all people, Knicks fans, some of them that like kind of do think the series is over.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not over, but I mean, they definitely are in, the driver's seat right now.
You see that in the chat at all? Like,
I honestly I'm not always up to date on that. So, I haven't really asked, people specifically, but I think that is the general sentiment. But, I think everyone is assuming that they'll grab at least one to guard it. And at that point, how is it not over? I mean, I know, sure, you could come back, but what are the chances of that? And then we talked about the 85% yesterday.
Yeah, no, totally agree, 85%. But I mean, we'll see, dude. We'll see.
What else we got here?
Oh yeah, sorry. The comeback. It's Friday Grid Day.
Yes,
Ernie's yearning for it, dude.
Ernie.
John Pog was earlier on in the comments about you, Detroit. Yes, sir. We are balling. Who let the Tigers get hot? He says. And then we got Michael Buck to Boston sports fans are the worst. F those fans. Can you imagine what it's going to be like on 6th Avenue if the Knicks go up 3-0?
Over or under 75 arrests?
Ooh, dude. I would say under 75, but 75 is high.
I mean, I think we're going to have a good number, though, honestly. Unfortunately. I don't want to see that. But
I would say there's probably at least one car on fire.
Yeah.
And then
one pull down too.
Definitely the pull down. Ernie says Glaber, Lindor, Freeman, today, dude.
Going yard.
Absolutely, dude. It's a nice little parlay you got going on there. Ernie says Rockies couldn't beat Bergen Catholic. LMAO. That's actually pretty funny.
That's one of Ernie's better ones.
It is. And then Michael Buck just says no one hates the Celtics badly as I do, which is pretty interesting. And then Barnes, if you played baseball, just had the story, dude. But
that was after the story, though. I mean, I don't understand. You think he's just like zoning out about late night contact?
Yeah, no, I think so. Absolutely. Buck just says also way more than 100 arrests. Josh B says way over 75. I think that's kind of crazy, in my opinion. Josh LMAO, Michael Buck will be chaotic. Jay Bird, though.
Bless you.
Speaking of chaotic, says I hate the Celtics the most. Knicks in 6.
There we go.
And that's it.
And I honestly think at this point, I mean, obviously we have revised predictions here. I thought, Boston will win or 6 or 7, but I mean, who's to say it won't be in 5?
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, if there's the split here at the Garden.
And then also we did get Tommy earlier on Instagram saying staying up late for that Oilers Vegas game was completely worth it to see McDavid embarrass Eichel in OT. I don't know if you saw that.
I mean, Tony. I mean, did I see it? Did I expect it? And are we going to talk about it? Yeah. All 3, right?
You saw it?
Who is this?
Ernie,
let's go.
Ernie, let's go. All right, hold on, stand by. Boy, do I have the sniffles today, dude.
The Claritin,
Oh,
dude.
my God, dude. It's kind of crazy, actually. And you would think on today, a rainy day, normally it's a little bit better, dude. But right now, we do have Ernie live on the Sportsport. What's up, dude?
Ernie.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, Barnes, listen. Unfortunately, I got to disagree with you.
But is the whole basis here is just about the guys in the chat giving you a tough time. JD, everybody else.
Absolutely, because like you heard it yesterday, right? So Tony wasn't there, so I gotta explain to him.
Mhm.
So I was actually giving the Knicks credit. I was like, all right, you guys gotta finish the job. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do. Like you got the Celtics on the ropes. Take one at home and finish it out. That was the conversation that I was attempting to have. And in the middle of me having that conversation, I'm getting shit about the Lakers. So then now it just turned the conversation to, you know what? All right, no. I hope y'all get swept the next 4 games. Like, I hope you go 0-4 the next 4 games, just so I can ask you the very next day, where are the Knicks?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I get it, but you know what I would say, and it's just obviously right now isn't the time they're playing well, but I guess actually no, never mind. It doesn't correlate because they're not Mets fans. But I was going to say that's the type of thing that you want to say. But listen, I know you're standing your ground. I just would have a problem ever like saying anything good about Boston. Like I just could not want Boston to win. I don't care what the situation is, you know.
Yeah, but for me, like the Laker-Celtic rivalry hasn't been anything since Kobe was, since they played each other in that finals. Outside of that, bro, like Lakers fans really don't worry much about what the Celtics are doing anymore.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. They don't match up as much.
It's almost like the American League East. Like yeah, the original rivalry was always Boston Yankees. The rivalry is still there, but the games against Baltimore, Tampa, like they've for the last couple of years they've seemed a little bit more important, no?
Well, I mean, I think that's just because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, Boston hasn't done their job in playing up to their standards, but the moment that they do, and I know they're fighting tooth and nail this year, but they're just hovering around 500. And then we got that drama with Devers. So I don't think this year is going to be the year, even though everyone else was really high in them. But that's all. It's going to take is them to be neck and neck with the Yankees. Then I mean, it will be. You know what I mean? That's all it takes is just both teams playing at their best.
Yeah, we want to relive that rivalry. We want to have that rivalry come back and be entertaining. It's good for baseball. It's good for the division. But unfortunately, the team sometimes it doesn't add. Look at the division in football as well. Packers Bears. That's not a rivalry anymore. It's more Packers Detroit, Packers Vikings. Packers Bears used to be one of the biggest games of the year. Now it's like, all right, let's see how much the Packers can win by. Yeah. So it's like, it is a little different, but at the same time, I just, deep down inside, I want to see New York win just because I want to see the shit show outside of the Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And also what I would say too is I know what you mean about the game itself, but don't you feel like even despite this lull with the Red Sox that it's like you hate them just as much as you always have?
I always want to see them do bad, but it's more in the sense of they haven't given us a competitive series in so long, a meaningful series.
I in the worst way. I want to play them in the playoffs and take them out because it's been a long time.
I wish
hasn't it been since 2003? Right, that was the last time we beat them in a playoff series.
Yeah, so it's
I want
to get the get. I want to get the get back. So it's I want to be able to see that rivalry revive itself. But in sports, the only way that happens is if both teams are playing well.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. So
I want to see a New York Pacers rematch. That's why I want to see New York win.
Yeah, no, I think that would be an outstanding series, and it seems like Cleveland's in trouble. So we'll not be surprised, if we get that.
Another Brunson-Halliburton series is good for basketball, in my opinion.
Yeah. What are you anticipating in Sacramento over the weekend?
Oh, I mean, I don't like to say that we should be fine. I think Warren's going to get beat up today, but
offense should carry, right?
Offense should carry, yeah. But the issue is that the A's aren't the A's of old. Like, they kind of got a little young swag to them this year.
Or in a way, you could say they are the A's of old, like the Billy Bean, Moneyball.
Well, yes, those A's, not the A's that we've seen in the last 10 years.
Yeah, that have been a dumpster fire, right?
Yeah, so it's like, you can't. That's a team that you can no longer really sleep on. Like Detroit's another one of those teams where you can no longer really sleep on. Like, Cleveland. There's a lot of teams that are doing the Tampa Bay Rays story where they were just terrible for years, and then the next couple of years they're all of a sudden a decent ball club. So it's just like, we should be able to hold ourselves. I don't think we sweep the series, but we win the series. I don't think we sweep the series though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yankees haven't shown me that they can sweep a series yet.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2 sweeps. What was it? Milwaukee and then Blue Jays, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, my thought though, why we could is just because despite them being better and competitive, and it's kind of funny, they have a bunch of our old players, Sears and Severino who are going to pitch, and then you got Urshela and Andujar as well. But I do feel like despite them being better, we do outmatch them, I think, in every facet. If you really think about it, I think our pitching's better. I think our offense better. But no, they have, though. That's the thing. So we just, if you kind of let up, it was Kansas City, Tony. Thank you. Yeah, not Blue Jays. So yeah, it'll be interesting, but I'm excited to watch. And, the good thing is, since it's a 10 o'clock game, while they're on, you could be texting Michael Butka,
Oh boy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. But I will say this, Severino is having a little bit of a resurgence, year. So like that's it. That's the game that I'm a little worried about, because it's also dependent on who's he matched up with. So that's
Clark
really
Schmidt. I think Clark Schmidt is pitching against him.
Okay, so I'll take the under that day.
Yeah. No, Severino really has rebounded, and after that disaster season he had 2 years ago. I mean, it is unbelievable. I mean, it really felt like career over, or he'd have to have a permanent move to the bullpen. He's really redefined himself.
Yeah. So
1 year with the Mets,
that might have lit a fire under his ass, and then they sent him somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have kept him. I wasn't,
Well, because the thing is,
you're still taking a chance.
Well, no, but I'm saying you saw it, Tony, is like solid as he was in the regular season. I mean, once he got to the postseason, it was the same thing that we've always seen, where it's just not good enough.
I would have rather have kept Quintana, honestly.
Right, exactly. So
yeah, that I would agree with you there, Tony, as well.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. And Michael Butka was requesting that you give him a shout out before you hang up.
Hey, Buckta, what's going on, Buckta?
Did you do the grid yet?
No, but I looked at it and have fun.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, White Sox are always a killer there. But will we at least have
you?
I have it up. Will we at least have you in the comments, Ernie, or you got like a deal closing, or what do we got?
Ooh, catchers. Okay.
No, you will have me in the comments. It's raining today, so I ran to my car. I'm in my car, so I will be definitely in the comments.
All right, sounds good, bro. Thanks again, Ernie, and we'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right, peace out, guys. Let's go, Yankees.
Let's go.
Peace.
That's the one, the only, the Ernie. And then Josh B was in here actually, about like talking shit about the Lakers, right?
Up
top, I said it about here we go.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah,
here we go.
As soon as Kev Deuce said it, he said. I think just in terms of the back and forth,
right.
Like how Ernie would react. And he says, but of course, Kev complains about it when someone talks shit to him. The comedy.
I can take it.
Yeah, I would say that is like the biggest like load of shit that he could take it. He cannot take it. Absolutely not.
I can take it.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody worse. Getting called out. I mean, Kev it's just not his specialty.
I can take it.
All right, dude.
How about Michael Buckta making a joke that I was kind of been waiting for someone to make? Ernie, how's Bert doing?
I don't get it.
Bert and Ernie?
What's Bert and Ernie?
You've definitely seen, let me show you a picture. You would know Bert and Ernie. Like, growing up. Well, actually, maybe you didn't, dude.
Okay,
Sesame Street here.
Okay, yeah. But, that's just, as you would imagine, Tony, just not my thing,
Not even when you were a kid? Like what? Like when you were like did you
Yeah.
watch Sesame Street when you were growing up?
I mean, I'm sure I
Elmo and
watched
Big
it,
Bird?
but it's just, I mean,
Don't
enough.
remember any of it.
I would say enough.
You blocked it out.
I would say Immaculate Grid Time. Come on,
Immaculate Grid
strike
Time.
up the music.
Let's go, dude.
I don't think it's gonna be easy.
Honestly, dude, I don't know.
But I know one thing that we can't do is the White Sox Reds with Junior, because I feel like we've already done that one, or Junior with the Mariners and the Reds, because I know those percentages are sky high.
Well,
Rod Barajas, catcher for the Phillies, or no?
I was thinking Wilson Ramos, but I don't know.
Did he definitely catch her?
Definitely did, dude.
Then do it.
Ramos.
Done.
The Instagram. Oh, wow. Wilson Ramos, definitely, dude.
There we go. And how about for the
0.7.
Mariners, Tony? Kenji Jojima.
Kenji.
There
we
he
go,
is.
dude. What do we got on him? 3%. Love that, dude.
Looks too high after the 0.7, right?
Honestly, dude. Do you think McCann would be too high for the White
No,
Sox?
do it. Everyone's going to think Pierzynski.
Oh, yeah? Okay. James McCann.
3%. There we go.
All right,
there we
dude.
go. Moving and grooving, Tony.
Reds, Phillies. I know Jay Bruce played for the Reds and the Phillies.
Trying to think about how high.
I think he may have played. Did he play for the Mariners too, actually?
Jay Bruce did play for the Mariners, I think.
Jay Bruce was all over the place, dude.
Yeah.
Legend.
I feel like do the Mariners Reds.
Mariners, Reds, Jay
Yeah.
Bruce. Oh, Jay Bryce.
He actually played for the Yankees and the Mets.
And the Mets, yeah, dude. Legend on the Mets,
I
dude.
bet,
1%.
dude, a Yankee Met thing, Jay Bruce would be 0.00001, right?
Yes,
Probably.
dude. Phillies Reds is so tough, dudes. I know.
I know Hunter Pence is high for Phillies and Giants.
Frazier played for the Reds and the Sox.
Frazier.
I think Johnny Cueto did too, probably. Right?
Frazier did. Cueto did. Do Cueto, because I think
Cueto?
Frazier is going to be a popular one.
Maybe even Tommy Pham. I'm not sure. Cueto,
There we go.
4%.
Yeah,
Not
I think
bad.
Pham did, but it wasn't positive. But that's a solid one with Cueto.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Oh,
the White Sox Giants.
what do we do?
Aaron Rowan, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
6%. All right, here we go, dude.
This is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's coming together.
not bad here. Giants, Phillies, Pedro Feliz.
Yes,
says Ernie,
Tony.
dude. Pedro Feliz.
Navidad.
Bang, dude, 1%. He also gave us someone else, I think.
Omar Vizquel,
Vizquez.
Mariners, and who?
Giants. Oh, Mariners, Giants.
All right.
Okay. Omar Vizquez. There we go. 3%. There we go, dude.
And then the Reds and the
The
Phillies.
Phillies.
Reds and Phillies.
It's a tough one.
Probably was Bruce, honestly.
Yeah. Jay Bruce is
But I feel like there's got to be like a starting pitcher, a reliever.
Cairo. He
Scott
says?
Rowland
Scott, you want to do Scott Rowan?
or Miguel Cairo is probably less, right?
I would think
Yeah,
so.
go Miguel Cairo. Good old Yankee great.
Yeah, dude. Miguel.
Nice.
23,
That's
dude.
one of the best scores we've had in weeks, Tony.
Yeah,
If not
dude.
months.
Honestly. Great job,
so
guys.
shout out to the Swami.
Absolutely, dude.
And shout out to you, Tony. You did a lot of the heavy lifting there.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. That was a good one for me.
Yeah, no, that was. And
Few and far.
I'm always for Kenji Jojima.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, so good stuff.
Way to end it.
Do you feel like the off day yesterday? I mean, we're always hyped every day for every game, but it's like you're like yearning for the Mets to get first pitch going tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I am definitely yearning. Like you said, it was kind of odd to not have any New York baseball on yesterday. So listen, it's Friday. You're hyped up for the weekend. You got baseball on. Certainly the heightened elevation of excitement, dude.
And what is it? Is it for the Mets? Their Saturday games are always 4:10, and then they do the Sunday at 1:35.
Typically, yes. I guess I can double check here.
But
I did close out.
I don't know. I don't know if we talked about this. I definitely was talking about this with Mark and Corey, but how Yankees always on Sunday were 105, and now it's like this 135 thing. It seems like it's like all across Major League Baseball. There's no 105 Sundays anymore.
Interesting. I guess not. I mean, I know the Mets haven't. It looks like they're playing at noon on Sunday, actually. 7:15 on Saturday. Night game on Saturday, night game tonight.
The Mets? Oh, because that's a Roku game. That's why.
That's annoying.
Oh, so Saturday. But no, they're typically 4, or is it 7 on Saturdays for the Mets?
I think it was like last weekend. It was definitely 4:00.
Go down though. So Saturday,
I guess we can go.
Another 7:15.
Looks like we don't get a 4:00 game.
So so it's 7. It's 7 on Saturdays, which is interesting.
End of May, I guess we get a 4:00 in Colorado.
But it seems like the majority, like the norm, is that game at 7:15.
Yeah, seems like it. Well, I mean, I guess they go back next weekend. Dodgers,
it's a little
4:10.
Bit of a mixed bag because Yankees have always been
4:10.
like just a sharp 105, unless it's like a national game, you know.
Got a 4:05 in Pittsburgh, dude.
But I guess what do you think it is like? Because I feel like teams maybe shy away from the 4:05 because of the shadow situation.
Definitely because of the shadow situation. It sucks, dude.
Yeah. No,
that's like half of the outfield's
How
covered.
Odd are those start time games? Well, I guess 4th of July.
4th of July, that's why.
And then it's a Fox game, 4:10.
3, 4, then 1.
Oh.
I kind of hate that. It really, honestly, kind of bothers me that it's a 4th of July game at Citi Field.
I'm thinking that was at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, because you're looking at the Mets schedule.
Yeah. So it's like, what the hell? Like, kind of like, like that weekend, like people were away. It's 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, they should have done it. We've said this many times, but a 9/11 series. I don't know how you don't do that every year. I mean, it's really that's a bad job.
Bad job,
by Manfred.
Fucking
terrible. Anyway, Tony, let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle, great hit, Cameron. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me? Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak,
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
Looking like it this year. But early game, we saw the Caps cruise, really.
Yeah, cruise is right.
3-1 over the Hurricanes. So evening up that series at 1 game apiece, heading to the Lenovo Center over the weekend. And their goalie, Logan Thompson, the former Golden Knight, stepping up 27-28. You saw Tom Wilson with the shooting scores. I heard that at Bobby V's last night. An assist. Carlson also with a goal for the Capitals. Kind of interesting how big this win was for Washington, because we were talking about, you go down 2-0, things can get out of hand, and now it feels like they're back in this thing. We really wouldn't be surprised if they at least split again in Carolina, if not take both games. Never know.
Yeah, honestly, you never know is right. Capital strategy is pretty interesting. I mean, I think you still saw almost like what we saw from game 1 from the Hurricanes, where they were getting, sustained offensive pushes, shifts that are 2.5, 3 minutes in the offensive zone. Maybe not 3 minutes, maybe like 2.5. But in any case, I mean, it was the Capitals that would, capitalize, I guess you could say, on some of the Hurricanes' mistakes. You mentioned Thompson killing it, dude, in between the pipes for them, which was great. And then their veteran players. I mean, you mentioned Carlson, who's probably one of the more tenured Capital players here on the roster still. Tom Wilson as well with a goal. I mean, those are absolutely huge. And it seemed that their strategy in game 1 that didn't really work out, it kind of worked out here in game 2. Made it for interesting. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I think for Washington to go into Carolina and take 2 is going to be certainly tough, dude. I mean,
tough, but not like, impossible.
No, not impossible. Not impossible, but I still think for Carolina to go back home with the split, I mean, I think it kind of still works in their favor, to be honest. I would imagine Raleigh over there would be absolutely popping. But we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see if the Capitals can still maintain some of this pressure. Or at least handle the pressure that the Hurricanes are putting out there. Ovechkin's been kind of quiet, which I guess you can say may be a good thing going into Raleigh. 3 shots last night, nothing on the score sheet. And some of their other guys like Pierre-Luc Dubois, who had a good regular season, not much to show for it so far in this series, or I don't think in the postseason at all. So it should be interesting to see if those guys can kind of start to heat up a little bit. If that happens, then you may see Carolina in a bit of trouble. But a bit quiet for Alex so far in these first 2 games.
Who's not quiet, and that would be the Edmonton Oilers.
That's right.
A resounding 5-4 overtime victory over the Golden Knights last night. So to go up 2-0, heading back to Edmonton, you saw Leon Draisaitl, his 5th goal of the postseason, the game winner here. And of course, McDavid in on the assist. And this was, game where Edmonton started a little slow. Was down 1-0. And I'm actually thinking about this with that stat with the comeback wins, being that they were down 1-0 after the first period. Does that qualify?
Yeah, you know what? Rick and Dave, or maybe RJ said it on the radio today. I don't think so. They were up 3-1 going to the third. Like, how?
No, but I'm saying I wonder what the stat. I mean,
no, I think technically it is
2, or
he said it was the 6.
But for baseball, I really think it's you're down
score.
1-0, and then you bat in the bottom half of the inning, score 10 runs.
Yeah.
That's a comeback victory.
Yeah,
which is like they got to switch that.
Yeah. And
Tommy say something else?
Yeah, he says that Raleigh's still a tough barn to play in, dude. Which he's right. He's right. And we'll see what happens for the Capitals. But in terms of the comeback victory, even though it was Vegas that forced overtime,
Right.
In any case, dude, it was a crazy game to watch. Like Tommy said, the first period was in my opinion, an even contest. I mean, I think both teams had good chances. Shot goal probably somewhere around the same. Obviously, Olofsson's power play goal was great to start the game off. You go up 1-0. Which is tough. Again, you see Vegas yet again taking the lead first and then blowing it. That second period, dude, Aiden Hill, I think 2 of those goals were probably from somewhere around the top of the circle. I know one of them was a great setup. I think it was maybe the Wallman goal, some 4th line guy, probably his first goal of the playoffs. But the other 2 goals that he gave up in that second period, I think Hill should have had, I know you still see some breakdown in defense here. On Vegas's part, leaving some guys open, giving up 2-on-1 opportunities, but still, I mean, from a shot from that far out, I think Hill could have had those. And then it's tough, dude. I mean, you try to come back, obviously, overtime, just like Tommy said too. I mean, McDavid absolutely blows past Eichel, who's flat-footed. Again, gives up a 2-on-1 opportunity. The pass to Draisaitl, it's game over when you do something like that, So you got to tip your hat, I think, to Pickard too, dude. Calvin Pickard has been absolutely. He was dialed in last night for the Oilers, dude. He had quite a few stretching saves. Crazy rebounds. He finds the puck. He deflects it somehow, dude. I think there was even a wide open net at some point. I want to say in overtime. I forget who, either fed on the shot or Pickard got a stick on it. But he's been playing great, I think, for the Oilers to replace Skinner here, which is kind of funny when you think about that. But obviously Vegas has some work to do. Down 2-0. Not good at all, dude. Not good at all for Vegas. They're going to have to tighten these things up. Aiden Hill tightened it up a little bit. And I know Jack Eichel had 2 assists here. But still, I mean, I think if Vegas wants to succeed, I was looking for the Jack Eichel overtime winner, to be honest. You got to get him on the score sheet, dude. I don't think he's doing enough offensively. And obviously, blew it on that last play. So, which again, I guess it's McDavid, whatever. But I've seen, we've seen players defend against McDavid. I can certainly sit here and say Cale Makar would be able to defend better than that. But in any case, dude, I guess it's good for Edmonton. We see what happens. But I mean, you got to scratch your head a little bit if you're Vegas, for sure, dude.
I mean, I know you know it. I know Tommy knows it. But just watching a game like this, and I'm not saying him specifically, Tony, but I mean, the Rangers just really need a player like McDavid, like Draisaitl. I mean, I just feel like there's just such a talent gap.
Yeah, I mean, every team does, dude. There is a significant talent gap, and it's not like just he's faster than everyone else. He's just his vision, his speed, his skill set, his stick handling, his all around, level of play is just above what other players have. That's why he's one of the best players in the league here for sure. Yeah, I mean, again, it's always evident in how they finish games, which is what they've been doing this postseason. They've been finishing the games. Third period, overtime is where they're living right now. So, I mean, dude, again, like you give up a goal in the first period, you score 3 unanswered in the second.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah. They're just a machine.
Yeah.
So, we'll see if they can put this away quick or if Vegas is able to jump back in.
I don't know, dude. On the road's gonna be tough.
And speaking of, going to be tough at home though, but the Panthers first game tonight, down 2-0 against the Leafs. I really thought they would bounce back last game.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't.
And the Leafs kind of like we talk about a talent gap, obviously different, not with the Panthers, but with the rest of the league, all the different players that they have on their team. But a lot of offensive firepower here. I mean, are you anticipating the bounce back for the defending champs?
It's tough for me to sit here and say like it's a definitive yes. Yeah, I would say yes. I know we go back to, I guess, game 1, right? Panthers almost came back. They scored 3 in the third. Maple Leafs almost blew it. They didn't. Second game, still 1 goal. Obviously, I think Mitch Marner, right in the third, slapper from the blue line into traffic, whatever. I think those are the things you're going to be looking at here. I say this game in Florida does drop the Panthers' way. And I think, honestly, like, same score, honestly, as the first couple games almost. I would say like a 4-3, 5-4, 1-goal game. Third period, maybe a Reinhart goal towards the end. But, obviously Maple Leafs still the big story is what's going on with Anthony Stolarz, I guess. It still says he's out here. Let's see if there's any update courtesy of ESPN. 1 day ago, out. We know about the concussion, elbow to the back of the head. But Wall was killing it, I mean, I said it before game 2. I'd be surprised if Toronto, because of Wall, got the win, and that's exactly what happened. So I still think tightly contested, but listen, Florida's bound to have the puck go their way one of these games. I think this will be it at home, and not for nothing. You can say what you will. Down 2-0 is tough. We've seen it before with the Panthers. They make it not look that tough. All right. Yeah. So I would say give me the Panthers in this one and still hammer that over.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say 5-4 and give Reinhart the game winner.
There we go.
Why not? Yeah, and then the nightcap here, the Jets Stars. Jets dropping the first one at home. Stars looking like unbeatable this postseason. And
that's right.
What else did Tommy have?
He says sign him up for the Battle of Canada, he says.
And we talked about that with JD yesterday. I was saying if we do get Edmonton and Toronto, that would be nuts.
That would be wild, dude. Bad for America, obviously. But
also at this point, Tony, I mean, the whole Edmonton McDavid thing aside, I mean, does it even matter, when our team's not in it,
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean,
but just what? Just because of Edmonton or no?
No. I mean, just to have not have an American team in there. You do like kind of get this like, oh wow, Canada, and then you would imagine ratings in America would also be probably low.
But what I'm getting at is like, you really care if it's not the Rangers who's in it, other than the fact that there's talent out there. That it's not like a boring matchup. I mean, other than
I wouldn't say it's
really
boring
matter?
at all. No, well, I mean, I guess not. I guess no. If that's the answer you're looking for, Brian.
Right?
No.
I mean, I just being, just realistic.
Yeah, no, I mean, would I rather see like Dallas? Sure. Would I rather see like Washington over Toronto? Probably.
Yeah. So more so on the side of Toronto than Edmonton, being not wanting them to be in there. I'm saying.
Would I rather see Toronto or Edmonton if I had to pick the two?
Or no, would you rather not see both of them in there? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think so. I would expect there to be other teams in the Cup final rather than Edmonton and Toronto.
Yeah, so interesting. We'll see. But I think it's the best matchup. Come on. I mean, you could argue the rematch. Obviously, Edmonton and Panthers would be great as well. But the Stars, though, I have to say they're definitely exciting this year. But speaking of the Stars, I mentioned Jets losing that first game. Are you thinking any type of bounce back here, or do you think things are not looking great for the Jets?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look back at my notes from game one. I mean, listen, I don't think, even though Rantanen's been red hot, I mean, he's not going to be scoring a hat trick again. I can see maybe Robertson heating up a little bit, but I could see Winnipeg winning this game. I'm going to say they will win this game. I think Hellebuck has one of those, Winnipeg at home performances like he does. Are they still in trouble for the rest of the series? Probably, but I say they take this game 2 here at home. You look at some of those goals, obviously Rantanen just wide open on the ice. I would imagine Winnipeg is going to be keying on Rantanen, just to know where he is at all times on the ice. And not for nothing, I mean, Winnipeg's, kind of battled back a little bit that first period. They came out being outshot to Dallas 9-1, dude.
What was it?
9, Brian, to 1.
Wow.
And they end up, having a good second period, a lot of back and forth and whatnot. Obviously, Ottinger is someone they got to get past. Listen, they're going to have to just throw pucks on the net. I want to see Morrissey. I want to see other defensemen just throwing the pucks on. I want to see Velarde, Connors, whoever in front of Ottinger trying to, limit his vision, get a deflection goal, a dirty goal, and then to not leave the foot off the pedal here. I mean, and Winnipeg needs it. I mean, if they lose this game 2 at home, it's over. Like, there's no way. It's like almost get the broom out, Brian, honestly. Wow. So I think they know that. I think they're going to have a comeback victory. I think it's going to be tight. I think you're going to see a regulation win. I think it's going to be a 4-2, maybe empty net at the end. Hellebuck, 34 of 36. And they go to Dallas with a tie series.
I think Rantanen hat trick.
Again, Brian.
5-3. And I think they're ready for a matchup with Edmonton for the Western Conference Finals. So see what happens, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, we will see, dude. I wonder what the prop bet is on that.
Oh, yeah, probably crazy. And then, other than that, I mean, you saw the Timberwolves blow out the Warriors last night. Did you see that whole thing with, Draymond Green saying that, the way he got a technical and, the way he's portrayed in the media, it's not fair, this and that. But then Rick and Dave were just arguing, he's just not owning up to the fact that, he's kicked people in the nuts on the court. I mean, he's just a madman. And it seems like he doesn't want to own up to it.
Yeah, no, obviously not. No accountability. I mean, the tape is out there, dude.
Yes.
I've seen the videos. It's not like
the media can do that.
Yeah. What?
He's doing it for them.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
Yeah, I always thought he was I don't get why he's funny on TNT sometimes, or he's gonna be great. He's funny and pot. No, he's not funny. He's just I feel like he's just annoying. I don't think he's that good anymore. And I think his mind. Honestly,
he's out of his mind.
That's the biggest thing. So.
And it's evident here. Just own up to what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was a little ridiculous, but we'll see if Curry can come back to save that one. Series tied at 1, so a long ways to go. The Cavs, Pacers here. Cavs in deep water. Down 2-0 on the road in Indiana.
Crazy.
For this game, Cleveland 4.5-point favorites. Looks like Garland and Mobley banged up game time's decisions. Obviously, it's imperative here in a 2-0 hole that they play. I don't know, but this Pacers seems look good. I think Cleveland might be in trouble, regardless if it's a win tonight or a win in game 4. I mean, I think I could see them going back to Cleveland in a 3-run hole.
Think they cover for a half though, or no?
No, right? I mean, I think it's going to be last possession, honestly.
That's wild.
Who wants it? I mean, Mitchell had 40 plus last time.
Yeah, true, dude. Any juice on, obviously Cavs, great record. I guess I haven't been playing up to it at all, but, they've seemed to win a lot of good games on the road.
Yeah. But you would think that they're due to bounce back. So, maybe it's a, last possession 3 or something like that to propel them to victory. And then we have a tie series in Denver, Thunder Nuggets. Thunder with the resounding bounce back victory last time, I think by 30, 40 points. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I mean, do you think that's going to continue where they're just going to blow the doors down again?
I mean, dude, 87 in that first half of the last game is absolutely ridiculous. It really is. So I don't know. I say give me Thunder on the road. Why not, dude?
Yeah,
emphatically.
I kind of agree too. I think Denver's playing a little over their head. I know they beat him in the regular season series or whatever, but it's playoff time. Speaking of playoff time, Saturday the big game, the Knicks, the Celtics. The Celtics 5.5-point favorites here. Disrespect, you may say. I'm sure Kev Dew's saying it somewhere.
Absolutely.
What are you anticipating there?
Oh man, it's so tough, dude. I think honestly, like Celtics collapse, to be honest.
Again? Like up 20 again or no?
No. I don't think. I think they're going to be like collapse, as in not even like
Be in the game.
I wouldn't say not be in the game, but no 20-point lead ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they lead a couple times by 6, or something like that.
Or by 9.
Or by 9, perhaps, dude. I think that honestly, like, whatever's going on with the Celtics, I think, like we've talked about, the mental aspect of it all. And I think going right now on the road, some people are saying, oh, it might be good for them, the road record. They're better on the road than they are at home. But we haven't seen, like, they haven't lost 2 games to the Knicks all year. So like, I don't care road or away record. They're not playing like the Celtics have been playing in the regular season. I think it is mental. I think going to the Garden right now could be the worst thing for them, dude. They're going to be like crucified over there. Okay, dude. You can only imagine what they're going to be hearing from the stands, from the Knicks fans here. And I think not for nothing, I think the Knicks themselves are going to feed off of that. I think it's going to be early and often from the start. Brunson didn't even have a great game, in game 2. I think he's going to be somewhat of a factor early on, and he always has his foot on the pedal. He's going to still be making those, fourth quarter clutch shots, and I'm sure the Knicks defense is going to be pretty stout. I think you're going to see, for the first time, right, we're going to hit 100 points. The first 2 games, no team did, right? What was the score of the first game? It was under 100? It was
in the 90s.
In the 90s, right?
Exactly what it was.
I think Knicks 101, Celtics 92, and they go up 3-0.
I'm going to say Knicks 99, Celtics 96. I think honestly, he stepped up big. The turnovers last couple games. I can see Bridges at the buzzer. Honestly, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Brunson maybe double teamed, Bridges open in the corner, that type of deal. But going to be a legendary game. Excited to watch that one tomorrow. And let's go Knicks for sure. And then on the golf course, Keith Mitchell remains your leader at the Cricket Club in Philly. 1-shot lead over Shane Lowry. So Mitchell 200 today through 13. Lowry remains 400 today through 12. And then Sepp Straka still solo here. 9 under. 2 under through 12. And Aske and Ricky Fowler are lurking, both tied for 4th. 8 under par.
9.
Ricky's only played 5 holes today. Aske 11. Colin Morikawa, after a great day yesterday, 63, even through 12. He's at 7 under with a slew of golfers, including Siwoo Kim and Sam Burns. The Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley, 6 under, even through 12 today. JT, 200 today through 13. Playing with Rory, who's also 200 through 13. They're 5 shots back. So we'll see what happens there as we get ready. I can't believe we're going to have major championship golf next week.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be great. Quail Hollow, dude.
Yeah, going to be unbelievable. That's for sure. Hopefully
it's good weather. I haven't checked.
Yeah. Actually, that in Charlotte, that's actually a good idea.
Sometimes their weather emulates some of ours, or even they get some of our rain later, because it comes down the coast. Hopefully we can get an even look here. Okay.
Let's take a look. So 45% chance of rain Thursday, but sunny skies. So really, actually perfect weather, basically.
Let's go,
Saturday,
baby.
Sunday, little chance of rain, but probably not.
Small chance.
So 80s, some partly sunny. I mean, it's gonna be great. How about Harry Higgs? Kind of going the opposite way of Joel Damon here. Now you're co-leader with Mackenzie Hughes over in Myrtle Beach. 400 through 12. You got also a couple guys at 700, including Patton Kazari, Ben Silverman, Danny Walker, Seamus Power, and Chandler haven't teed off just yet. And then unfortunately, Joel Damon looks like he might be headed home early. Maybe he sticks around for the nightlife in Myrtle Beach. 4 over through 9, Tony. With the cut, with the cut looking like it's going to be at 1 under. We'll see if it remains that way. And Kevin Kisner hanging in there, even through 12. We'll probably need to pick up a birdie somewhere. But speaking of picking up birdies, he had a couple bogeys since we last went to him. So he birdied 11 and 12, and he's on the par 5 13th. Looks like he's 66 yards out from the rough. So looking to really stick it close from there and have a manageable birdie putt, but we'll see if he can make it. Yeah, that's really where we're at. But an exciting weekend upon us. And really appreciate everybody this week who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at DowntimeTV.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees!
Let's go Mets!
And we will see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.